guys, welcome back for another video. Today I've got the brand new H2 series motorcycle intercom from MOMAN. We're going to unbox it real quick, go through its feature set, install it on a helmet, take it out on the road, and see what I think about it. This also comes in a dual pack kit. As of the time of this video, I don't have final pricing. When you guys see it air, you'll know along with me. So we've got a quite substantial instruction booklet here, how to use the dial and all the button pushes and all that good normal stuff. I'll read through that, of course. Here we've got the unit, very light, very reminiscent of the old Cena 20 series as far as the coloration, but totally different in its layout. So it is the more familiar now USB-C coupling, and we'll undoubtedly have an O-ring on the cable. Here's our charge port back here. And the nice thing about the modern units, if you're coming from something that's, even 5+ years old, you're in for a treat, because modern units with their modern batteries have a tremendous charge time. They often quick charge in just an hour or less, and you get all day battery life. So this is the more familiar, again, spring-loaded dial. However, look at this. They fixed my only complaint with it. They put a nub. So there you go. Now, no worries about it slipping and sliding, especially with gloves on. That's absolutely perfect. So now you just reach back with your hand. I use my left. Boom. Now, importantly, we'll have to see if the functionality is different from other units I've seen, like this being volume down and this being volume up, reverse of what it should be intuitively, but not calling any problems because I haven't tried it yet. I also want to see if the track, skip, and volume is correct. This should always be volume, and hold should always be track, skip. We've seen it reversed in other units that use this type of body and control. When these are made, they're made by an actual factory, and then the hardware is shared between various brands, and they'll put their own name on it, and they'll change the firmware, maybe change the design of something here and there, but other than that, they're all going to be pretty similar usually. And then we have two buttons up top, and they've again added these huge plastic fins for the buttons, so definitely easier to hit with gloves than little flush mount buttons. This back one is different feeling from the front one. The front one feels nicer. It's a little bit more travel and a little more positive clicky. This one is more like a dome keyboard. It's better if you use this angled section to press it. So you're kind of pressing down this way instead of down that way, but it feels fine. This feels better though. And then nothing up here, got a little LED there. This is also a button. And of course it just rotates in the two directions. So that's it for control. Looks like a standard slide on. We'll have a clip and adhesive mount probably for the helmet here. So then the only question is quality and sound. One bag of accessories. I have to say I appreciate that rather than 4 or 5 little useless boxes and bags. Saves time. And here's our clip, and we do have one nice easy push connector here for getting the unit on and off. I like that. So it would be on the helmet like this. Just line up the tabs, push down into place, very secure. Push that and slide up to remove. Perfect. Then you have the adhesive version here. We've got some Velcro for the speakers and mic. And what's this? Oh, it looks like we might have a couple different color faceplates. We've got gold and blue, kind of a metallic paint looking there. Very nice looking choice of colors. So let's see if I can deduce how this comes off. Looks like 2 just press fits there. Little tricky to get off, but coming at it from this end here, a little plastic spudger would probably work too, but this watch case remover is a good fit. It just pops right off. So then I can put on another color. Here's our mic. Should have, here we go. Should have an optional surface mic. That's the one I'm going to use. So we'll plug that in. Standard breakout cable, little proprietary barrel connector for the mic. and hardwired speakers. So this is a case where you could not use earbuds. Some units we've seen have a 3.5 mil connector for the speakers, so you could plug in whatever you want. Speakers feel good. These actually, I believe, are the identical ones that I just reviewed in another unit, which tested very well. So I'm anxious to hear what they've done for these. At least I know what they're capable of. It'll depend on the firmware, how much bass boost it gives, how much volume it's capable of, and how clear it is. And then we have a very chunky, this is almost all mic, not much actual foam here, so it's actually a little weak of a gooseneck. Usually they're just fine. I'm sure it'll be fine for use, but there are definitely ones out there with a stiffer gooseneck. So might be an issue. I don't really use these. I've got one open helmet and I hardly ever use it, so not an issue for me though. Surface mount mic, actually very small, which is good. So this is just mainly foam here, and then just total Velcro on the back to mount wherever you need to. Same with the speakers, they are solid, all plastic casing all the way to the edges, flat Velcro on the back, and then good feeling, durable feeling foam, and it's all speaker. Quite hefty as well, pretty good magnets. Other than that, you just have a charge cable and some more Velcro for mounts. Let's get it on the helmet. All right, so getting some time with it here. First of all, sound quality, very good. Not quite as good as a couple of the other value packages that we've seen recently, but it's close. It's really close. Not quite as loud overall, but still certainly loud enough for any kind of use. I'll go out on the higher speed road in a bit and get some more wind noise just to verify, but I think it's going to be just fine. Overall, the sound quality is bass boosted, a little bit muffled. The high end is also either tapered off in EQ or the speakers just aren't resolving quite as much as some other units. So the vocals get a little bit muddy, but they're punching through enough. I wouldn't have any problem recommending it for navigation use or anything like that where voice is critical. Just fine for that. For straight music reproduction, like I said, not the best, but not bad at all. I don't have an issue with it. Just a little bit of broadband distortion on the really loud crescendos. Again, not an issue. There's very few units I've tested out there that don't have any, and you've got to spend ridiculous amounts of money like the Cena 60S. Nothing below $100 is completely free of distortion. Controls are A-okay with the gloves. Aside from wanting to switch the rocker function for the next track and volume, I mean, it works. Easy to reach. I love that nub, especially for the glove use. So I really like the design work they did there. And these are the typical audio quality as far as the sound field goes. There isn't really much of a center image or headphone-like experience. These are just, they're sound in your head. And that's fine for navigation use and stuff like that. But if you're looking for that audiophile quality, there's only a couple units that I've tested that have anything like that. So these aren't anything out of the norm. Now on this track, take a picture by filter. It is recorded a little bit low, and this is about the limit for what I would consider usable as far as volume goes. So I like using this track because it's a worst case scenario. I've had some apps and some updates where their voice navigation just gets super low for notifications. But as always, I've got earplugs in and I can still understand the lyrics no problem here at full volume. And here at highway speeds, just enough, even here on a low recorded track. So I think overall they did a real good job. I'll put a link down below if there's any kind of specials going on. And running it through the measurement suite, we have the typical curve that I was expecting. We've got this dip in the lower mid-range that was making the vocals that little bit shaded. And then you can see the treble rolls off pretty steeply, giving that muddy overall sound. But you can see the pretty good bass rise, accurate measurement stop about there. So that confirms what I was hearing on the road. And a max peak volume of 98.4 and the typical very slight high hit distortion that is always there no matter the volume setting.
So take a look if these sound like something you're interested in, especially if you're looking for a dual pack, fully featured with radio, easy operation with gloves. Definitely worth your consideration. See you next time.